Hi, I'm Alex or TatiosNG on Reddit.
And I'm Ethan, or Eon997. Alex and I will be filling in as co-hosts this week.
Tonight on the podcast we have...
User Will for Thrill.
And I'm Sara. Nice work, Sara.
Okay.
Sound like I'm just like complimenting myself there.
Yeah.
Good job.
Thanks.
Maddie is not here because he's dead.
No, he's in Chicago.
He's
don't
dead.
don't
He's
scare
dead.
our don't
He
scare
sent
our
some
listeners
comment
like
to
that.
mention him. Give him a shout out.
Shout out to
Miss
the host
you.
of our podcast, Maddie.
Yeah.
Forever in
we
our
have-
hearts.
Rest in peace.
We have no one to quietly leave the podcast to walk his dog tonight.
Quietly.
Like when I was, his
I
dad
was-
was like vacuuming or
I
something.
was listening to that. That was ridiculous. Like, that's what doors are for.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess we should start with what was released this week. Courtney Barnett released her debut album. Sometimes I just sit and think, and sometimes just sit. All of us have something, except Sara, have something to say about this album, but we will talk
Later.
about it
Nice work, Sara.
Okay, sorry.
Lightning Bolt released their seventh newest album. I don't want to.
I think it was 7th or 6th.
They were called.
I could be wrong though. I'm not a
know.
fan.
Fantasy Empire. I will be talking about that and what I listen to. And the Go Team released The Scene Between, which I will talk about and might listen to. That's the only reason these two albums are on here is because I listen to them.
Yeah.
I feel like the only major release this week was Courtney Barnett.
That was only official release, but there were a lot of streams. It's
Oh,
like
yeah.
Yeah, we got a lot of
Chiffon.
streams this week.
Godspeed, Modest.
Oh,
not
yeah.
Modest,
Oh wait,
Death
did Modest Mouse
Cab.
come out this week, or was that?
no, that was
week?
last week, but Death Cab for Cutie. I always
Oh,
get them
right,
mixed
right,
up.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
They had a
forgot
stream
about Death
in,
Cab.
a bunch of stuff I didn't care about. Also had streams. It was just Stream Week 2015.
I like how the like release pool is so saturated that we're just casually forgetting about people like Death Cab for Cutie and Modest Mouse.
Well, I
Yeah.
feel like if it was Death Cab for Cutie or Modest Mouse 10 years ago or 15 years ago.
Oh,
then-
definitely.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
a little less relevant.
I
Yeah.
casually forgot about Death Cab for Cutie like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, I get that.
Like someone asked you who they were, and you're just like, who?
Death Cab
Wait.
for what now?
Sounds kind of gay to me.
Oh, wait. Before we move on, I forgot to mention that we have a new
Oh, yeah.
podcast member
Yeah.
on this week.
Oh, yeah.
Will, do you have
Oh, yeah.
anything to tell us about yourself?
I mean, it's just a chill dude, listening to music, talking about it. So,
Sweet, bruh.
That's a great
Bruh.
Yeah,
bio. That's a A+.
Hella
bio.
no.
yeah, I'm doing like the double snap right now.
Did we establish in my bio that I was a plumber or something like that? What did you guys say? Like, I was about to say something,
Well,
and
clearly
then I
it's a
think
lie,
Maddie
'cause-
interrupted me and like claimed I was something random. I can't remember.
You're a plumber porn.
Well,
star,
Alex
that
is
guy.
a plumber.
Yeah.
In case you were wondering.
I'm a plumber, but exclusively in pornos.
All right.
I'm a porn star explicitly in plumbing situations. But
How much
so I
plumbing do
go,
you actually
I
have to
go- I
know?
actually do like go to people's houses and do like plumbing, but then shit happens.
Did anybody listen to the Death Cab album?
No,
I did not yet, but I
I
plan
don't
on.
think anyone.
I listened to the singles.
Some of
I'll-
the singles
I
weren't
felt
that
bad
bad,
because I kind of liked it.
but
the
I'll get around to it
singles.
next week.
I loved some of the singles. I thought No Room for Two is great. Although to be fair, I only listened to a live version, which was super stripped down, and I really liked that aspect of it. And then like
Yeah.
I don't know, when I listened to the studio version later, I just didn't like it quite as much. But I did love some of the other singles. I like Black Sun a lot, so I really feel like I should check it out. But it probably won't happen until later in the year.
I just feel like
All
I'm not-
right.
as much as I do love Death Cab for Cutie, I don't feel like I'm just gonna end up listening to. I just feel like this year is so saturated. It's like hard to focus
Yeah.
on things you're like somewhat interested in.
Yeah, it took me days to listen
Yeah.
to Jenny Death. Like I was interested, but I don't even know why.
I just listened.
The
to-
context wasn't right.
I-
for that.
yeah. I don't know. I downloaded the Flack leak the day it happened. Like I think 40 minutes after the leak.
Yeah, I
showed
can't get
up.
Mega to work. Like it
Yeah.
gets virus every time. It's weird.
But I also bought.
I
the
almost
Flack
accidentally
'cause
downloaded
that's
it
what
on
I'm
my
about.
work computer. Ooh.
All of a sudden, you start blasting Break Mirrors with my face on your work speakers.
That would be the
All right.
best way
And
to
bye. Nice
Promotion.
job.
Can you
Promotion.
quit your job. That's the way you're gonna quit your job. Just start blasting.
That's how we'll
records.
go out.
All
Yeah, might as
All right.
well.
And
All
then
right,
break a mirror with your face. I think that'll send a message about
Singles.
we should move on for sure. So in the next segment we have single releases.
Can
We
I talk
got
about this
new
one?
Animal Collective sort
Yeah.
of. Well, it was really just
This
Avi
is-
Geologist,
my
and Sarah's going to
territory.
talk about it because I don't think anyone else listened to it.
Hello, welcome to
I
Animal
listened.
Collective Cast with Sarah. Here we talk about Animal Collective exclusively and occasionally cry. Actually, but no, it's important to say this wasn't an Animal Collective release. It was just AV and Geologist because like a new Animal Collective release would imply that they were all like working together and that would be a whole big thing.
That's
So
Animal
it's still
Collective.
exciting because I love AV. Yeah, it's a whole collective, you know? You gotta think of the collective. But it was really fun because we had just finished recording the podcast from last week, and Maddie and Jeremiah and I all listened to it like live at the same time together, and we were on like a video stream, and and Jeremiah and I were like kind of just like wigging out at the same moments, and Maddie was casually uninterested, and that was my experience listening to it live.
That sounds about right. I
it was
started
pretty
listening
fun.
to the AV song and I wasn't too into it, but I don't know. I kept repeating what he said throughout the day, and it just gradually became something that seemed
Yeah.
awesome to me. So I should listen to it again.
I've listened to them both a couple of times though, and without ranting for too long because you don't want that. Okay, so the AV one is very AV, and the Geo one is cool because we haven't seen very much Geo solo stuff. Well, actually, I don't think we've seen really any except for him collaborating with other people, and it's nice to finally like hear his voice. And it's cool to pinpoint where he fits into the rest of the band. So that's what was really fun about this release.
And where is that, in your opinion?
I think, let's see, I haven't really quite articulated this yet. He like sets this sort of, okay, it's gonna get really metaphoric here. He sets this sort of like primer. Like it's like he's painting the primer onto the walls, you know? And you're like, whoa, why is he doing purple? Because like it's gonna look sort of orange in the end. But like it's weird because the purple stands alone. It's it's like I always just kind of I always just kind of like attribute like anything in the band that I can't automatically say is AV or Panda or even Deacon sometimes. Like I always just attribute that like, oh, it sounds bloopy and blippy. That's probably Geo. But he's really like, he weaves a very like subtle sort of, it's like a subtle, like emotionally drawn out kind of element. That's the best I can say right now.
Like, I just listened to both of them once.
That's interesting.
At work today, and I just heard noise. I mean, I'm not an Anco fan yet. I'm in the not yet category.
Oh yeah, no, that's a great place to be though, because then you get to be there at some point.
Yeah, I've listened to Merriweather Post Pavilion like twice.
Yeah,
Merriweather Post Pavilion is my favorite summer album, but I haven't really touched the rest of their discography.
Yeah,
I would say
I like Person Pitch a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Listen to Reverend Green and then go into Fireworks, like, or wait, is it the other way around? Listen to those two songs blend into each other, and that's like one of the best 2-song stretch of Animal Collective. And Reverend Green is like, I think it's all around the best Animal Collective song, just because it like perfectly describes what they do. Okay, I'll stop. Stop me.
Right.
This is an Animal Collective podcast.
Yeah, okay.
Next song.
Moving on, we had FK, Twigs, Glass, and Patron. I sort of half-heartedly listened to this, but I don't know, I didn't love it as much as anything on LP1.
Yeah, the video is really, really bizarre, which is what we've come to expect from her. But
yeah, definitely. Like I would.
She's like giving birth to like a magic trick. It was weird.
Yeah. All right.
It's like a dance off Zoolander style.
Yeah. Did anyone else have anything to say about this, Ethan?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I didn't even. I listened to about 30 seconds of it. I'm not really a fan of hers. I don't
Uh,
mind her stuff. It's just not what it really appeals. I like the production. Just,
yeah.
Yeah, it's really atmospheric. That's what kind of got me.
I'm not an atmospheric kind of guy, except for a couple.
Yeah.
exceptions.
All right. Next up, we had Jamie XX, and he released Loud Places with, I believe, like, was it 4 other songs
Yeah,
from In
Yes,
Color?
three others.
Okay. So, what'd you guys think about that? I listened to it, but like it didn't register. I don't know. I just didn't get anything out of it, I guess.
Yeah, I've never really listened to XX much, so this is kind of a new experience for me. And oh yeah, the Loud Place was with Rami.
Yeah.
Anyways, and yeah, I liked that song. And then the other 3 were just mostly like instrumental, just kind of whatever. But yeah, that Loud Place is good sing.
Yeah. Okay, and then we had a new Built to Spill song, which was called Never Be the Same. And I didn't like this song that much. It just didn't like, I don't know, I didn't get anything out of it. It just kind of like, it was just kind of underwhelming, I guess.
It was just kind of there. Like, I can imagine it in the context of an album, but on its own, it was solid, but it wasn't anything groundbreaking.
Yeah, it doesn't really have me looking forward to the album in any way, but I don't know.
But the other singles did, right?
Wait, there were other Built to Spill singles?
There's been 2.
Oh my god,
What?
I had no idea.
Yeah.
They've been
Wait,
much better.
how many have there
I actually
been?
like the song. It's a bit more laid back than the other 2 singles.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
feel like it will. Like Sarah said that it would work well in an album. I think
Yeah.
that's a good point. I think it'll be when they're doing these really hook heavy songs that Built to Spill are known to do. Like it'll go on to this more like laid back chord single. Like it wasn't like
You need a breath of fresh air.
Yeah. And I'm actually really looking forward to this album. I think it's gonna be. They haven't really. I'm not too familiar with the discography, but they really haven't.
They haven't come out with it since
Yeah.
like what, 2009?
Yeah, but what I was saying is that I don't think they've really put out anything bad. I think they've just been really remarkably consistent. So I don't.
I think
Yeah.
that's not really true. I think it's they have a couple albums that are like really well renowned, and then the rest are just kind of like solid.
Yeah, that's fair. That's what
And the most recent like 3 have been just like pretty solid.
Can we talk about the cover of this album? Because it's
Wait,
like,
what is it?
it's weird. I saw it like, because I looked at the single. It's like 2 cats and then what looks like, I don't know, word art from like Microsoft Word.
I haven't actually looked at it. I really like it.
It looks so like, it looks like it was done by a 7th grader on his
Yo, that's what
computer.
Perry and Lowell looks like.
Well, I don't know.
Is this like a
I love that cover. But like,
But the font.
yeah, the font is weird. The font feels out of place. I agree.
No, I think
Sure.
if you look at it, it's kind of like a paper cutout. I think. That's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I guess.
Wait, let me bring it up.
They're kind of doing.
Oh, it does. Yeah, the way that the letters kind of have a slight shadow.
Yeah. That's actually.
It's
I
cute.
think it's kind of not D.
Oh yeah.
Grungy-ish. I don't know how to.
Okay,
describe it.
here.
Oh my god,
Here's
I
a fun-
totally see what
here's
you
a fun
mean. Yeah,
question.
that's cool.
What would you feel like this album said, or this album art says about the upcoming album? Like if you were to say what the album kind of.
It's gonna be groovy.
It's gonna be.
Yeah.
An hour of Nyan Cat. None of the singles.
Laser cat.
In the airplane over the Nyan Cat.
Yes, I love the neon cat.
I like that they're like, it looks like a kitten or something, or a little dog that's like howling at the moon.
You
So
can
it's
see
like
it.
a little one.
Yeah.
I know, is it a dog or a cat? I can't even tell what it is, but it's howling at the moon or something. It looks like it's howling at the sky because those are the letters. So maybe there's
Looks like
like
it's just looking away.
some symbolism there.
Oh no, that is a mouth.
That's his mouth.
Oh yeah, and then the black one's just kind of like.
Please.
Like LEL.
Yeah.
Well, please. All right.
All right, moving on.
Yeah. So next up is Alvin or Death Grip news.
That
No,
segment
album
of the day.
announcements.
Alvin announcement. I feel like I just did it. I'm so
You're overeager.
I'm so tired. I've just been.
Prematurely shot your wad.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh.
I guess that's
No.
one way you could say that. Of all
Arrested
the ways
Development
that
joke.
is.
Okay, so Jamie
Arrested
X.
Development
okay,
joke.
okay, you're going the
Of
rest
all of the choices you could have made, that was the one.
Is it Arrested Development
Yeah,
joke?
if you're doing the rest of development angle, I get it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
There you go. So
Oh,
I
yeah, I
can't
didn't
say
even pick up
anything.
on that.
Yeah, Tobias.
Yeah, no, I
Uh,
remember
I'm
that
really
now.
glad that you actually said that, because otherwise I would have just thought you were a little strange.
Yeah.
But now it's fine.
No, I am, but you'll just figure it out later.
Now that you're quoting Tobias, it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
It's cool, guys.
Okay, so
Alright.
the first album that was announced was Jamie XX's In Color, which we already talked about. So I don't. Does anyone have any like?
Yeah.
I mean, I like the way they spell color. Like it's all with a U.
Yeah.
Is he
British. It makes it very fancy.
Yeah.
Like when they do like a bar and grill with like an E at the end.
Oh
I
my
like
Oh,
that.
boy.
I dig that stuff.
Shop.
So-
Shop with a P and an E.
Oh, ooh, yeah.
So shop it. Farmers.
All about
Was
it.
that one of you that guessed that the pronunciation of P farmers was P farmers? I thought that was really funny.
It was not me, I promise.
It was somebody that
I don't know
recognized.
who it was. I think it's definitely just a silent P.
Is
The,
it farmers?
No, it's farmers.
Farmer. You have to do the like
Performers.
Like Pfizer,
Oh
that
no,
soap
I got
company.
it. I got it. It's performers, I think.
Oh!
Oh, that'd be cool. That's neat.
Performers. Oh, that's really good. Do you think that's it?
I have no idea. It sounds right though.
Performers.
Yeah.
We're the performers. That's
They're-
cute. I like that.
Their album is called Gunnera. I don't know.
That sounds like an STD.
It's like gonorrhea. Or something.
Yeah.
Maybe like a female gunner. She's like in the turrets. I don't know.
Obviously have
I'm sure
strong
Jeremiah would be excited about this because it's got Brian from the National. But
Ooh.
I think
Yeah.
that you're underestimating how much I love the National. Okay.
okay.
Because I heard the horns in that song and I was instantly like, oh, here we got the National influence.
Wait. There's a song out from it. I have a problem.
Yeah,
guys.
they released
I
a
need to use the
single.
internet more.
Internet is a great new thing in the world.
Yeah.
Welcome to it, actually.
Welcome to 1999, bro.
So how'd you guys did you listen to the single?
No.
I did not because I didn't know.
Oh wow, okay. So it's just me there.
Walk us through it.
Oh god, I only listened to it once. There were horns and it sounded, oh gosh, I can hardly remember. I'm gonna use one word here and you're not gonna respect it, but it was cool.
Dope.
That's all I remember.
Let's
It
move
didn't
on to
really
Death Grip
sound
news.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
like-
we have Death Grip news.
There we go.
They announced a tour. Tickets went on sale today,
Yep, bought my
and
tickets.
it's sold out in my area, and I am pissed. And fuck
No, no,
scalpers.
no,
And, oh my god.
I am more pissed because I have no idea what I'm doing this summer, so I could buy tickets. Tickets are still on sale where I live, and I don't know if I can go, and I'm just too nervous to buy tickets, and I'm so
Yeah.
Just-
Okay,
So what-
Ethan. I wanted to go to the 9:30 club show and just have my parents visit my uncle, but they don't want to do it because it's not a 5-day weekend. My dad would have to take a day off from work. But it's
5
like
days?
it's Death Grips. I need this.
Yeah.
I'm not or 4-day weekend. Sorry. I'm not yeah.
I bought my
But
tickets.
I'm not about to drive down to Washington D.C. to
You're just
go
not- you're not voted.
alone. I mean,
Well, sorry, what were you saying?
Oh yeah, I bought my tickets for Dallas show on
I hate you.
July 19th, I believe.
Well,
I hate anyone who successfully purchased tickets because I was planning on like I was planning out my day beforehand and like I don't know, then I ended up staying up till like 4:30 last night and slept in and just completely forgot about it in the morning and then all of a sudden in the chat Bert's like, I just got my tickets for Death Grips, and I had an aneurysm. Not actually, but it was just like I just freaked out. I like dashed into the kitchen and like it was sold out in my area. And it's just so
Is that where they
frustrating.
sell the tickets?
The kitchen.
Yeah, oh no,
Hobbs
just
kitchen.
Just dashed on in.
Ticket man.
Mrs. Dash was there.
no,
I'm
I went
about
out there
90.
because I had to talk to my mom about where we would be in the summer because we're gonna visit my sisters out in Seattle, maybe, probably. And we're gonna go see my uncle and stuff, and so I could go to the Washington show or I could go to the Washington D.C. show. So I wanted to know what show I should buy tickets for, but now it might look like, or now it's looking like I might not get to see them at all, which is super frustrating.
Have any of you seen them before?
I
I
haven't.
saw Death Grips
You saw them?
2 years ago.
Tell
I
us
hate
about that
it.
experience.
It's a very complicated experience.
Were all three of them there?
I had only heard of them. I like my friends liked them. I didn't really like listen to them that much, so I knew who they were. It was at a festival. It was at FYF. And they were the last band of the first day. And I went in. This is actually a perfect description of the event. I went in with a friend of mine, and we were like, "Oh, this is fun. Like, let's try to get near the front. Like, they're like 10 minutes late. Oh, we're weaving through the crowd. Like, yeah, this is gonna be fun." And then the lights went off, and it was just like pure anarchy, and I literally did not ever see my friend again. He was gone. He was gone.
You
Like,
didn't not till this
I
day.
oh
You
my
still
god,
haven't
I
seen
was
him.
no, and like he went on study abroad afterwards for like 6 months, so I literally didn't see him until like a couple months ago.
Oh my god! Wow.
But yeah, it was a really, really, really intense experience because the entire crowd, like, not there wasn't just like a mosh pit at the front. Like, the entire crowd wanted everyone to die. Like, at one point I remember first off, I wasn't able to move the entire set because I'm like pretty small as it goes, and I'm not incredibly strong, which is unfortunate. But at one point I was like squeezed in between 3 people, and I like saw like this girl's face like flash by, like we were both squeezed facing each other, and her eyes were just like wide with terror. It was really cool. But
the best show ever, really.
yeah, but
So
Yeah.
much fun.
and then they were gonna play last year at FYF, but then they broke up, and so they didn't. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna play at FYF this year because they said LA dates to be announced, and FYF hasn't announced its lineup yet. So that's why I haven't bought tickets.
What's
But I'm
the
probably
news
gonna
then?
hope that
Are you a
it's
fan
in
now?
late August. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Afterwards, I was like, "Fuck, I need to listen to everything by them." So
All
now
right.
I really like them. Yeah, it was the experience that actually got me into them, to be honest.
All right.
I'm gonna be visiting some colleges in California, so maybe I can line that up.
Dude, if you're in California at the end of August, FYF is actually the best thing that happens in the universe.
I'm gonna
So
try
you
to
should
do it.
probably go to
Universe.
that. Yeah, the whole one.
Have you been to Coachella?
No, because I don't want to die of heat stroke.
Yeah, Coachella
Right.
seems like it sucks.
It's more
a
of
lot
an
of fun.
event than it is about music at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, like AC/DC. I feel like I mean, like, there's too old to be rocking.
The lineup's not bad this year, but it's just saturated with like fuckboys.
Fuck boys.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely saturated.
So moving
My
on.
culture there, so.
And speaking of Death Grips breaking up, they said on Facebook that they might make some more.
I mean, they're going on tour.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
What happened?
I didn't believe them really the entire time. Like, they're still gonna make the second half. Like, I just all the
Well,
red flags.
according to the note they left, they had already finished Jenny Death by that time, but I don't know. I suspect that MC Ride might leave, but I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me that they would continue on recording as Death Grips
It's
without
pretty
MC Ride.
important.
I think
Yeah,
Yeah.
I see he's most important. They can place everyone else.
I don't think they could replace Zach Hill or even Flatty. Like, I think
But
Death
maybe
Grips is.
not play out, but definitely Zach. Just find some other crazy frenetic drummer.
He's got
There
a pretty
is no
unique
other
style.
crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean, I'm sure there are other crazy drummers, and maybe even one with Zach Hill's style, but there is no other Zach Hill.
True. I mean, like,
oh, sorry.
I just don't think it would be their style to replace a band member, though. I think if one of them
I
left,
don't-
they'd break up.
yeah, I think so too.
I think what might happen is because the last song on Jenny Death is obviously Death Grips 2.0, so I think it might they might change in some form, maybe a name change, maybe
Right.
But I think they're going to be doing or maybe a stylistic change, but they're not going to
Jazz fusion.
They're going to do pop music.
Pop punk.
They do an album featuring Kenny G on every song.
So I listen.
MC Wright is actually going to be fronting Blink-182 on their tour.
See now that'd be interesting.
That would be amazing.
10 of 10 would go.
I'd see that, but I don't know how much I'd enjoy it.
No, I would enjoy it for about 5 minutes, and then I would just be like, "This is the worst thing I've ever seen."
So like,
I don't think enjoy is the right word.
It'd be like seeing the Pizza Underground. You're like, "This is hilarious," and then you're like, "This is awful."
Yeah.
I mean,
so
like
looking up Blink-182 Death Grips on YouTube, see what comes up.
All right.
Right.
I saw them a couple years ago actually, and yeah, that's the story about that.
I'm sure they're a lot of fun, if nothing else.
Yeah, it was a lot of like that was back when I was like a junior in high school. That was still super into pop punk, you know.
Yeah.
Blink-182 is my favorite band, yo. So
yeah,
good times.
All right, so
I like a good pop punk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still like a bit. But...
Moving on. Next up in Death Grips news, we have another piece. They released a music video for "I Break Mirrors with My Face" in the United States, and it's nuts. It's just as nuts as the song. Really, it's a fitting music video. For me,
sorry.
You can go first.
I found the video to be kind of boring. I don't know. I thought it was cool, but like,
yeah,
I want a bit more. I think it was kind of just like, let's put a GoPro on the drumstick and the mic, and we'll upload it to YouTube after 20 minutes of editing.
So it's basically like MC Blink-182 for you. Like, it was interesting for a couple minutes or whatever, but
no, it wasn't even that interesting at all. I thought it was kind of like, oh, this is nice, but I'm not like, I need to sit down and watch this video.
Experience.
Yeah.
Like watching the video is what it feels like to listen to the song, I think.
Yeah, that's kind of what I meant.
With the drumstick.
Yeah.
I personally, honestly, like if I'm being totally honest, "I Break Mirrors with My Face" might be my second least favorite song on the album. I love Jenny Death, but it's just so hard for me to just jump into it with like something that kind of hits you like a wall of bricks. Although I'm sure it sounds amazing if you had just come off of Redacted on the Moon. So like,
yeah,
I don't know. You know, I think a lot of people are saying that this isn't a double album, but I think it could easily work as a double album, even though the two records are so stylistically different.
Well, yeah, like what happened to me was when it first dropped, like when they put up the YouTube link, like I was in a really mellow mood that day, and then I turned on the album, and like 10 seconds in, I'm like, nope, just because like I was just like not having it that day.
Redacted.
It's very abrupt. It's very abrupt.
Yeah.
Album.
Yeah.
Redacted on the Moon was my first Death Grips album. It's what got me into them. I started off by listening to it while mowing the lawn, and the first time was kind of a joke, but it just became progressively more enjoyable. Well, it totally makes sense if you think about it, because I have kind of an older lawnmower, so it's
like having another instrument, really.
It's definitely physical activity, and so you're out in the heat, you're doing physical activity, and in my case, I was pissed because I hate mowing the lawn, and it was just like becoming my job, I guess, kind of. Like, I just took over for my dad who used to do it, and that was annoying to me. So I was pissed, I was hot, and I was doing exercise, and that's just kind of the perfect climate for Death Grips.
Yeah, I mean, lawnmower, that sounds like just another instrument, really, in that mix. If it's the first time I'm hearing it, I mean, might as well be.
Yeah.
Especially like military or No Love Deep Web, just the heavier ones.
Yeah. I feel like I think the perfect album would be something by Wolf Eyes, just something like just like noise, screaming.
Yeah.
That's lawn mower music. I think they
Lawnmower core.
Encore.
We're not.
There was a thread about this on Indieheads, like
that was so stupid. I'm sorry.
8 months ago or something,
What
like
was
a
it?
long time ago, and it was what's your favorite lawncore music? And it was this guy asking
No, I think it was
what
more
we
recent.
listened to while mowing the lawn. I thought it was a while ago.
'Cause
I do not remember that. It must have been a while ago.
I think it was definitely in the fall. I think actually.
I've never listened to music while mowing the lawn.
How do you mow
I
the
don't think
lawn,
I've
like-
ever mown a lawn.
What a girl! What a girl!
That's irrelevant.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever.
That's totally irrelevant.
I moved around a lot when I was younger. We didn't often
So you
live
moved
places
before you
that
had to
had
go-
lawns to mow. What's that?
You moved like after a week, so you wouldn't have to mow the lawn.
Yeah.
That's like
Once
grass
it
was
grew
gonna
out,
grow
we
out
were
there.
like, we're done here. We're
This
done
isn't
with this
my
house. The
problem.
grass is too long. That's it. It's a weird fact.
Alex, you
So-
want to do
Did you
the?
find-
wanna-
Yeah.
oh,
Ethan, did you find
The
any
next-
threads?
I'm looking. I'm
The
frantically
next-
Googling.
Okay.
We'll return to that later. The next piece of news is near and dear to my heart. And it's that OK Computer is going to be archived in the Library of Congress.
Yay.
It's probably my favorite rock album of all time, just flat out. Although I don't know, I feel wrong in saying that because Kid A is also my favorite album of all time, and it's just
So, I
like
mean,
I feel like I shouldn't have two Radiohead albums, like be in that category, kind of. I don't
They're
know.
very different, though. I mean, I barely consider.
Oh well, yeah,
If
yeah,
you consider, I mean, that's definitely not rock if you played it for a purist.
yeah.
So, yeah.
For
Uh,
anyone listening who isn't currently active on the R Indiehead subreddit, I would highly recommend finding the thread where Alex and Jeremiah discuss the stories of how they found what was it?
Kid A.
Kid A, yeah.
Back,
Okay.
back to
Those
OK Computer.
are really adorable. That's all I'm gonna say.
Thanks.
Those are adorable.
Yeah.
I did a good job.
Don't tell Jeremiah this, and I guess I'm hoping that he won't.
Wait, hello? Hello.
Listen to this.
Oh,
Get him late for.
I just cut
Did
out.
we cut out,
Yeah,
or was it just you?
I don't know, but I'm the one recording, so what happened?
I'm recording too.
Oh, okay.
We were just talking about OK Computer.
Um,
Oh, right. No, I was talking.
Hey,
okay.
lawn court
I have
guy
a
likes.
big- I have
We were
a
talking
big-
about the Kid A write up.
I have big
So-
news, though. I'm sorry to interrupt. I found the the lawn core thread. Guess what the top
Oh.
voted comment is?
What?
Death grips.
Oh, that's me, right?
No,
That's
it's
No.
someone
That's
else.
gotta be me. What the
No.
fuck?
Oh, that's so
Burns
funny.
user
Oh, but
Burns
you
148.
respond. Alex responds, "This is what I listen to when I mow the lawn."
Oh.
The guy says, "I like Radiohead a lot." That counts. So if you're listening to that, yes,
This was 3 months ago, so I was right. It wasn't long ago.
good job.
It was
Yeah.
only 3 months ago.
Yeah.
Oh my
That's-
god.
That doesn't make sense. Who the fuck mows the lawn in December? I mean, I guess if they lived
Don't
in
live in this-
Australia, like,
Yeah,
Can I
but-
just
I don't
comment
know.
that it was 90 degrees today and I was miserable?
Well, you're in. Aren't you in LA?
Yeah.
It's
So I'm
been
saying you
getting-
can mow the lawn right now.
Yeah.
yeah.
Can you
It's
mow
been
about that
the-
getting
time.
so hot just in my room. It's not even hot in Rhode Island, but for some reason, like, it feels like all the heat in the house collects in my bedroom, and it's so frustrating. I'm like,
It's drawn to you.
all right, okay. So my
let me-
confession.
Oh.
Back to my confession. I only started the write up for the Kid A thread like an hour before it went up. And I think I might have made
Nice.
him late for work. I didn't know he had to get to work. So, like, I don't know. I didn't think much about it. But yeah, I definitely felt bad about that.
Next up, we have Franz Ferdinand hint at a new album, which is cool. I'm a big fan of theirs, or their first two records at least. They kind of went downhill after that. But especially that first record. I love
Ooh,
those.
wrecked.
What?
Shots fired. I'm
At
sorry.
Franz Ferdinand? That's
I quit.
shots fired.
That might start a war.
Got a lot of fans on this.
So, yeah. Does anyone else have any opinions? I'm not
Nah.
looking forward to it that much, considering their recent output. But
I'll listen to it.
I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not really a fan of theirs. I didn't listen to Right Thoughts, Right Words,
Listen,
Right
if you
Action.
listen to their first record, it's really, really good.
I'm sure it is. I don't know. I don't think I'll ever get to it just because my list of things I'm planning on getting to is so long, but maybe someday.
I mean, just that whole dance punk thing with them, Block Party.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like stylistically, it's not that high on my list of things I love, but like
Yeah.
I definitely probably would enjoy it from what I've heard of the album.
I mean, every song. There's not a bad song on that album. I mean, Take Me Out, even though it's super popular, it's I think one of the greatest
Great
indie
song.
songs of all time. And
It's a good song. Good song.
but and just they're a good band, and I hope they really return to form. I thought right words, right thoughts, right action. Is that right?
I think it was right thoughts, right words, right action. I don't know. I just remember the hook from the title track.
I
So
thought there was a couple or like 5 decent songs or decent to good songs on it, but it wasn't that fantastic. Slightly a return to form, but yeah. All
right.
Next thing would be
Swans.
Swans.
Yeah, Michael Gira.
Yeah,
Oh.
Michael Gira said that Swans will return to the studio sometime soon. At a show I was near, I was like 20 minutes from, and I'm really pissed I didn't go, but I was 18 and over. And
Yeah, they haven't.
What?
Yeah, well, they haven't recorded most of the songs that they perform live.
Yeah, I feel
So,
I thought they were playing mostly stuff from To Be Kind.
Yeah, don't they just like, I don't know, do drastically different versions of songs from their records rather than, I don't know,
kind of like
from what I hear at least.
they do about 5 songs per concert, and like the last set list I looked at, it was like 3 new songs, 2 from To Be Kind, and like 1 other song from something else.
I would love if they did a
So-
show that was just like early like filth and
Cop.
Yeah, that would be incredible because they could actually do like more than 3 songs, and then those songs. I'm actually a bigger fan of their earlier stuff. I love their new stuff,
All right.
but I feel like their older stuff is a bit more.
Well, it was all just more extreme. So whatever style they did, they just did it 100%.
Yeah.
Now there's a little bit more diverse,
Yeah, definitely.
Feel-
I
feel
feel like
larger audience.
yeah, and it's definitely it's definitely more interesting musically, and it's definitely
Yeah, definitely, because I mean it has some of the prog elements,
yeah. Or I wouldn't say I would say more like
noise.
no. They say they were more noisy at the beginning of their career. I'd say more like
Yeah.
They're more
Drone rock.
post rock maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. For whatever reason, just a little boy. It always reminds me of Pink Floyd for some reason.
Oh, that's
Just because that bass line, the way it moves through the track.
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's theatrical. That's a like.
Yeah,
kind
it
of
is.
The
The
same,
theatricality of it
which is
reminds you of
definitely
Pink
very
Floyd.
prog rocky. The theatrical.
Yes, exactly. I mean, it's hard to really. I mean, Swans is Swans. No one else does what they do. They do it. Just
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I feel like a lot of bands do what they did originally. There's a lot of like industrial sounding, but no one does
Yeah.
it like exactly like they do it. Like they
Yeah,
just
I mean-
so much harder than anyone else.
Michael Gira is just on another level, creatively.
But-
Creatively.
Have you ever listened to Angels of Light?
I actually haven't. I've been. That's also on my to go.
I listened to one
to
song
get to
and was
list.
just really bored. So I don't know.
Isn't it like folkier, but like
Yeah,
with
but
a
it's just
Swans
basically-
taste?
It's like he tries to sound like Johnny Cash, basically. And I love Johnny Cash, but I can't really listen to it on regular basis. I just like say I like Johnny Cash and will listen and always enjoy a song when it comes up. But like, I just feel like it's not that interesting compared to Swans. Like he's making incredible industrial post rock, whatever you want to call it, with Swans, and then he's just making
Right.
Johnny Cash sound alike records with Angel.
I mean, I guess it's just an outlet for him because I mean, obviously, no one can listen to or probably play that all the time. You know,
Yeah,
that'd be
that's true.
draining.
That's
So
true.
it's probably just creative outlet for him rather than
That's a very
something.
good point. Yeah.
actually take serious.
So next on our list of things, is that Modest Mouse plan to release their next album in 2016. Isaac Brock.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you go into it.
So apparently, I don't know. So Isaac Brock was getting a lot of complaints. I don't know where this comes from. I don't know. The things he said were kind of weird in my opinion about his album titles being too long. So he was thinking about just calling it whatever I don't know. He like I think this was a joke. He was so unclear. I don't. But yeah, that was kind of it.
After
Uh,
that, after Strangers to Ourselves, I'm not really looking forward to this next album. I mean, that was just very definition of mediocre.
Yeah,
I'll say that.
definitely.
Just right down the middle. Right down the middle.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if it was different from Strangers to Ourselves because, like, I don't know. I know they were recorded at the same time, but it just seems weird that they'd release like two incredibly similar records.
Right.
You know, with Strangers to Ourselves, I feel like I've talked about it like for the past few weeks a lot, but like I've listened to it more since then, and I feel like each time I have a different impression of it. And today I actually was listening to it while I was driving home, and I feel like if I take it out of the context of Modest Mouse, it's actually a really pretty good album. Like I just am thinking about Modest Mouse too much when I listen to it.
Really just I don't remember any of the tracks except for Pistol. I mean, just
Yeah.
very unmemorable.
Is that the one where he sounds
that's
where
the
he's
bad
talking
track.
about like his car and shit?
I don't even remember what he's
Which one is
talking.
that?
That's like I think it's like a seduction song, the Pistol song.
I don't remember. But yeah, it's yeah. I mean, I still agree that it's like it's okay. But I was listening to it today and not thinking about Modest Mouse. I liked it more. Like just in general, it's a pretty solid album.
Yeah, I just don't
out of
remember
the context of it being Modest Mouse. That's fair.
Should we move on to?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
No.
So next up, we got pickups and concerts, and I'm gonna go first. So the reason why I wasn't on last week's podcast was because I was seeing Perfume Genius live.
Ooh.
And it was awesome. The venue was so tiny. Like I think I was 12 feet from the stage, and there might have been 100 people in the room. It was incredible.
Oh.
Like, and it was a sitting venue. It was so weird. It felt like I don't know. Just didn't feel like a concert stage, but it was really cool. Jenny Val was miles better than when I saw her opening for St. Vincent. She was the opener, sorry. But like for two reasons. One, when I saw St. Vincent, it was way too loud and like the bass just sounded ridiculous. But in this venue had smaller speakers and there was better, like I don't know, EQ. It sounded a lot better, and she was great. What she was doing was really cool, I think. And then Mike was awesome, and his band was awesome, and yeah, it was just super great. I've already talked about the concert a bunch elsewhere, like to my friends and in the chat, so I've kind of aired out my feelings at this point. But I don't know, it was just such a great concert. Like I think I'm gonna have fond memories of this for a long time. I don't know, it was just really cool. Mike came out wearing a Betty Boop dress and black heels and just sang his fucking heart out. He also played he played a couple of songs that didn't make Too Bright, and that was so cool to see. They were really great too. I don't know, but yeah, that's pretty much all I had.
Hello.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're just getting a little bit of echo. Sorry, audience.
We have an audience.
And then like at the concert, I picked up Put Your Back Into It because I hadn't really spent much time with the album beforehand, and it was a total pleasure to listen to. It was just I haven't listened to it too many times yet since then, but it's a solid album. And I also picked up a Perfume Genius shirt with the most adorable looking cat, and I'm so in love with this shirt and possibly Mike Adrius.
Post pics of both cat and shirt.
Oh, sure. I'll definitely, yeah. Then I got Volnakura, the CD deluxe thing in the mail, and I'm not really gonna talk about it yet because I've only listened to the album 2 times, and that was like a couple weeks ago. It's a beautiful record, though. Ethan?
Yeah, I saw the Berserk exhibit at MoMA when I was in New York, so I thought I would talk about that for a second. I'm not really a Björk fan, as anyone who's listened to episode
Björk?
6. Isn't it
You mean
Björk?
Bjork?
Isn't it Björk?
York.
It's Bjork.
York.
I was
You went to the exhibit. You should know.
I was actually told. I thought someone told Maddie on like his video, and he told us like you should be Björk. Okay, I'll say Björk.
I think that person was wrong. Just fun.
Easy.
So Björk, the Björk exhibit. I thought it was a really cool exhibit, even though I'm not really a fan.
It's
of it.
definitely Bjork because she's Icelandic. Yeah, like that's just
It's
just
definitely
Bjork.
Bjork.
Okay.
Bjork would
Like
be
Bjork,
more
Bjork.
like French, but she's Icelandic.
Bjork.
It has to be Bjork.
Okay.
Let's
No,
call her-
I'm sorry. I'm just like I don't get where this person is coming from or where they heard their information,
probably
and
that
I'm just so confused.
Do you know what it probably was? It's probably like I'm gonna be the one person who knows how to say it. I'm gonna be the pretentious asshole. I'm gonna be the hipster.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are all wrong. I'm right.
Or they wanted to fuck with Maddie.
That's more like
It's not hard to do.
Okay.
All right.
So,
And the last thing that I got
I do-
was the To Pimp a Butterfly CD. Oh wait, sorry. Did
I
you
was-
still have stuff to say?
yeah, kind of.
Oh yeah, you never talked about the exhibit.
How
I'm
about
sorry, Ethan.
pronunciation so much?
It's okay. Yeah. I thought it was really cool. They showed a lot of her costumes, which I showed you guys in the chat, and they were really, really cool. And there was kind of like this narrative, like story throughout her career. Like it was kind of like a metaphorical story for what was happening in career and her relationships, and it was really cool. If you're in the area, I definitely recommend going to see it, even if you're not a fan. And I kind of came out appreciating her music more. Even though I don't like her music that much, I'm like, okay, I definitely respect her as an artist and like understand where she's coming from. I also
Really?
watched the Stone Milker video, I think it was, on like this giant screen with two giant screens, one in front and one in back, and that was really cool. And the sound system was awesome. And hearing Arca's production on it was just, the drums were going from like, it was like a 16 speaker system, and the drums would go from like part of the room to another part. It was so cool. Oh, it was great. That was cool. I'm not a huge fan, but definitely worth checking out.
Yeah.
Sorry, you keep going.
Oh yeah, no. And then the last thing I got more recently, although this was like 10 days ago, was the To Pimp a Butterfly CD. And I'm not gonna say anything about it because we're gonna talk about it in a little bit in the albums we listen to section. Next up we had Ethan.
Yeah, I got Faust 4 on vinyl. I think I talked about this on a previous podcast, but this is one of my favorite albums of all time. It's a beautiful album at points. It's incredibly experimental at points. I think it has the one. I was reading the side A of the album, and I think it's one of the most solid side A's of any album ever. It goes into krautrock, into Jennifer, into the Sad Skinhead. I think I could be wrong. I really hope I'm not.
Yeah,
wrong.
that's what I'm looking at the list right now.
Okay.
I pulled it up.
So, thank God, someone else who's listened to that. You've listened to that
I-
album, Will?
No, I actually haven't, but
Okay.
I actually never heard of it, so I was typing it in.
It's an incredible krautrock, or they termed the term krautrock, or formed the term krautrock.
They coined the term.
the term. That's the word I'm looking for. Thank you.
This is today.
And it's incredible album. I probably one of my favorite songs of all time, honestly, is Jennifer. It's just so goddamn beautiful. And just kind of this looping bass thing with this beautiful guitar. I have no idea I think he's just singing about like some girl with red hair who's pretty. But it's so
Beautiful song.
It's so repetitive, but it doesn't feel like it's dragging out the theme. It just feels like every moment is orchestrated. That's what I feel about krautrock too, which is like this 10-minute drone piece, and it's kind of a parody of drone pieces, but I think it's still really, really well done. And I've talked about this album before, so I shouldn't keep talking about it. But I would say it's like one of those. I wouldn't put it on the essentials list, but it's up there. If you want to get into krautrock, this is like the 4th album you should listen to.
The 4th album.
Behind probably Kraftwerk, Mew, and Can. Let's be honest.
All right.
But I've only listened to Kraftwerk out of all of the full album out of all of those. Yeah, but Will, you got something on vinyl?
Oh yeah, and I bought The Chronic by Dr. Dre. I'm brand new to vinyl. Just got a record player a couple weeks ago, so I'm just getting classics right now. It's not that great. It's like an Audio Technica. It's
LP60.
Yeah, that one.
I had that for a year or two. It works.
How do you like it?
I got rid of it. I have the LP 120 right now sitting right next to me.
Is that better?
Much better. If you can,
much.
I had the LP 60 for like a solid year or so, and it worked fine. But once you get up to a real turntable with a counterweight and all that, you will notice a difference. It's just so much better. But this is a perfectly good turntable for.
Does it sound better
Yes.
like than actual? Okay, because this doesn't sound any different from regular music to me.
Yes.
Just personally.
No, I wouldn't say vinyl sounds that different from normal music.
Yeah, it's.
I feel like it's overhyped on that regard. It's more if you don't buy vinyl for the sound quality. You buy vinyl for the fun of going to the record store and going searching for stuff. My opinion.
Yeah.
All right.
Vinyl is more so about the experience of at this point in time. It's more so about the experience of taking it out of the sleeve, looking at the disc, putting it on the player, and just sort of sitting there and like, because you kind of have to listen to the full album no matter what. I mean, I usually do that, but yeah, like it's just a different feel. It's a different experience, you know.
I mean, if you get a nice turntable like the cheapest nice new turntable you can get is the YouTube. I used to be on our vinyl a lot.
There are definitely some records that are going to sound better on vinyl than on CD.
That's a myth. That's not.
No. Older records
Like,
that were mastered
give me
for it
example.
and haven't. That's what I'm saying. I'm not. But newer records aren't gonna. Don't buy newer albums for it.
I thought you're gonna be like one of those guys, like you have to listen to Wilco on vinyl. I'm like, no, it doesn't. It's not different. It's just another way of listening to it. There's no music that is beneficial for vinyl. It's just that some person started a thread in the Indieheads subreddit.
Well, yeah.
As our vinyl elitist, I was like, what are you guys doing?
I'm just saying, like, I don't know. Older records
yes.
that weren't properly mastered for CD are going to sound better on vinyl. But other than that, there's nothing really.
unless there's mobility.
Oh yeah, that
I have the version of. I have the blue album, and it sounds beautiful.
Does it sound better? Because that's like my favorite album.
That sounds better.
Okay, I'm definitely gonna buy that now. Because that's basically my favorite album.
You have to buy the God, I can't remember what it's called, like Ethan, but it's like a special edition. I'll try to find the link for you.
Mobile Fidelity. I can just get on Amazon. MFL is the abbreviation. Mobile Sound Fidelity Lab, I want to say. But I have blue album. I also have the Pinkerton box set, which
how's that?
It sounds beautiful. The remaster is really well done. I haven't heard the mobile whatever version of it, but this one sounds great. We should probably move on. I would love to.
Yeah, anyways, the point is that I bought that because it's not on iTunes or Spotify, the Chronic. So I just figured that was a good way to get it.
Yeah. All right.
Anyways.
Well, Sarah, you had some things to talk about?
Taking a nap?
No, gosh. Oh, yeah. I took a break.
Did you walk your dog? Maddie's going to be so pissed at me.
Did you dad back in your room?
I've been saying this a lot, but I'm like kind of addicted to going to concerts at this point.
13th
like it's not
time.
Like it's not healthy. Last weekend I went to 2 shows last weekend, and afterwards it was like on Monday I just like I wanted to go to a show again. But I kind of touched on this. I made a post about the band Moonhooch, and they were just absolutely the best one of the best shows I've ever been to. If you have the chance to see Moonhooch, and like I've had great experiences with concerts because of like personal reasons, but I'd say all around, just objectively, that was the best show. Like those guys just absolutely killed it. Again, the name of the band is Moonhooch, And the night after that, I saw of Montreal, and it just felt like very like produced, and it was good. It was good. They're great, but like
compared to Moon Hooch,
compared to the night before, like it just
sucks.
felt like no, it was great. Like
No,
I'd never seen of Montreal before. It didn't suck. I'd
No, it
never
sucked.
seen of Montreal before, and it was
Will
fun, and I
demands
knew
to
they were.
speak for you.
I knew they were going to be gimmicky or something, but like I've seen like Starfucker, and I've been to festivals, and like people did crazy stuff or whatever, and it just felt like you know they were cool, doing cool artistic things, whatever. They were well rehearsed, but Moon Hooch is just like two guys just fucking blaring their hearts out on some saxophones, and it's like dance music, and nobody was not moving. But I also wanted to mention tomorrow I'm going to I just wanted to go to another concert, and my friend invited me to this, and it's a Panache Spring Fling at the Echo. If you're in LA, you know the Echo. But Jacko Gardner is going to be there. Is it Jacko or Yakko or whatever? I don't know how to say his name. Mr. Gardner, him, and then there's some other bands playing. So I've been listening to all these guys. The Entrance Band, Twerps, Happiness, Ultimate Painting.
I've heard Twerps are good.
Yeah, I listened to a couple of their songs. Actually, I really like them. I only listened to a couple of their songs today, but I'm pumped to see them. Twerps and Happiness is pretty good too. So that's what I'm doing tomorrow. But yeah, and then I have Rodrigo Almirante and Tobias Jessa Jr. next week. So super pumped. If you live in LA and want to see concerts with me, I go to a lot of shows alone because I don't have any friends or anything. So hit me up. That's my plug. It's my plug for friends. Carry on.
Okay, we do plugs at the end of the podcast. Sarah will be plugging
the plug.
friends.
If you want to be my friend, here's my phone number. No, that'll be super
I got a
weird.
buddy in LA. I can maybe hook you guys up.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. I'll get him a card on the phone.
Great. Wonderful. I'm that desperate, apparently.
So,
He's blazing if you're into that kind of thing.
Just next topic.
So, what have we been listening to this week? I have been listening to these albums. Lightning Bolt, Fantasy Empire. This is a great noise rock album. I reviewed it on my blog, which you can find at soundimplosion.blogspot.com. I repeat, soundimplosion.blogspot.com. And so I don't feel like talking about it too much. Or you can find it at audiohammock.com. I also posted it there. But it's a great noise rock record. It's a lot of fun. If you've listened to Lightning Bolt, you know what to expect. It's not going to be anything too different from their previous stuff. It's a bit more refined, a bit more catchy, but I think that works in their favor for the most part. I also listened to the Go Team, The Scene Between, which was a fun pop record. Thunder Lightning Strike is one of my favorite records of all time. I feel like I'm in the minority with that, but I love that record. I think it's so much fun. I love the use of samples. I think it's so genius. I'm a big fan of like building songs off of samples like them. I think them and the Avalanches are like two of the only bands who really like build full songs. I know there are other artists like DJ Shadow who do like production and beats and stuff with samples, but I feel like the only two artists that do like really full songs are the Go Team and Avalanches. Both of them have produced two of my favorite records. This is a good record. It's not anything to write home about, but it's fun. It's short, it's sweet, to the point. It's good. I wouldn't recommend it over their first record. If you haven't listened to the Go Team ever, listen to their first record. You can ignore the rest of their discography, honestly. I mean, it's decent, but it's not great. I also listened to Music's XLP. Music is like, he kind of makes music that kind of sounds like Aphex Twin, but I feel bad saying that because like he's always the artist that's overshadowed by Aphex Twin. Like everyone talks about Aphex Twin, but almost no one talks about music. I mean he's influential. He owns I think he owns Planet Moo Records, and so he's put out a lot of influential stuff. And he actually worked with Richard D. James on an album that someone found on vinyl on r/vinyl, and I'm really annoyed because I found it for $1, and that's a great record. I don't even know if I've heard it. Why am I saying it's a good record? Cool. I don't even know if I've been able to find it. No, but back to this album. it's really, really good. It's not that cohesive as an album because it's two EPs put, or 2 or 3 EPs, I can't remember, put together. But I feel like he's just a fantastic songwriter. He balances the drum, like the more drill and bass kind of stuff with the more like ambient sounds on this, and it just transitions really well, even though it's not that cohesive. I really like it. If you like Aphex Twin or IDM, I guess, as stupid as that term is, I get
intelligent dance music.
It's so fucking stupid.
We are better than you.
I mean, as stupid as EDM is, I don't want to like be like my music is more intelligent than yours, but whatever. It's a good It's a really good record. I mean, it's not his best. There's the really famous one that like you can find it. It's the top reviewed one on Pitchfork, whatever that one is. It's really good. So, and I also listened to Pimp a Butterfly, which will transition to Alex's talk.
Yeah. So I love this album a lot. I like it's so hard for me to talk about it. I don't know. I guess I feel like I'm still in shock. Like the first listen of this record for me was probably maybe my best, definitely my second best first listen of any album ever. The reason why I say maybe my best is because Kid A was just so, yeah, I talked about that in the essential. What?
Wasn't your story that it was a bad first listen?
What? Sorry?
Weren't you the one with the bad first listen to Kid A?
Oh, well, actually, yeah, I did have a bad first listen. I don't really consider that my first listen. I just mean that, like, the first time I heard it and it clicked for me.
Okay, yeah. I definitely agree with you. Like, I hated it, but then, like, the first time I listened to it, that was a very spiritual experience.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know. I've never been put in a trance like that before while listening to an album.
Back to Kendrick.
Maybe not even since, except, but this album blew my brain across the world and then back into my head carriage. I don't even know how to talk about it in a coherent way. Like, The Blacker the Berry is an amazing song, and probably the most intense song Kendrick's ever written. One of the most intense songs I've ever heard. Super emotional. And You is also kind of the same way. I don't know. I don't have anything of value to say about this record yet. But I know Ethan wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, I wrote in the schedule I'm going to hijack this so I can talk about 4 albums. Yeah, I listened to the record kind of like on the end of the plane ride, on the ride home, and then a little bit when I got back to my house, which is very important for anyone listening. You really needed to know that was incredibly important. So, but I kind of was turned off by Kendrick just because I didn't really listen to hip hop for a bit there. I've listened to hip hop for years now, but there's a while that I wasn't listening to it. And I also saw like 10 minutes of his set at this festival, and he was awful. He's not. I've heard this from other people, and I think the general consensus is that he's not really that great of a performer.
I hear that he's gotten better recently, but definitely like when
I'd still go.
Yeah, I mean, but I wasn't a fan, and I just thought it was boring. I don't know. Maybe it would have been good if I liked the music or I was into the music.
Right.
So
I saw a live performance. I wasn't there. I mean, I watched a video on YouTube of him performing, and it wasn't too great. But I think I really hear he's gotten better in the past couple of, or I don't know, lately.
He was good when he put out his first album, but then he went down in quality after Good Kid, Mad City, and then maybe
really.
That's what I've heard.
That's so interesting because I've never heard about people getting worse at live performing.
Well, I mean, like Bob Dylan or something, but that's because he's old.
That's not even fair. Like, it's really just because of his voice, or I don't know. Also, I've seen him a couple times, maybe even 3 times, it's just like I don't know. It was hard to make out the songs in many ways, but it was
But
like I don't know. I don't
but
feel
it was
like
still good.
yeah.
I couldn't tell what the song was,
But I really, really enjoyed this album. I am excited to listen to it again. I think it is incredible. It is, wow. I am so mad at myself for not listening to this. I think what turned me off on Kendrick was his kind of raspy voice, but he used it,
right.
but it's just so well done, integrated into the album. Like it's so good. It's incredible album. Like, I'm so mad at myself for not listening to it earlier.
Ethan is also speechless apparently.
Yeah, I'll be the Debbie Downer here. Like I liked it a lot, but I just like I don't have that high of praise as you two have. Like I really enjoyed it, but like I don't know. Like, it's definitely the best hip hop album this year, but I definitely wouldn't be surprised if something was better for me at least.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's really like I really like the kind of rap concept albums. Like some of my favorite rap albums are like.
Well, I mean, it's not technically a concept album. I mean, like has a
No, it's really a concept album.
I mean,
it's it's a novel.
I'm
even
gonna qualify what I'm saying by like when two of my favorite rap albums are Mad Villainy and Deltron 333 or 3030.
Yeah.
3000.
Bad Villainy is probably my favorite hip hop album, but I don't know. Maybe this will take its place.
But what those albums do is kind of like just integrate the production and the rap into one thing. It doesn't feel like two separate entities.
Right, I can see that.
And it just kind of flows. And there's like sometimes rap, sometimes it's instrumental, sometimes they're singing. It's just kind of this random hodgepodge, but it works so well. And I think this album achieves that.
I mean, I think I'd enjoy it if I didn't have like I still prefer Good Kid, Mad City, and if I didn't have that compared to,
yeah,
I'd probably be even higher than it. I mean, still probably.
Well, I don't know. Will, are you a fan of jazz and funk? Because like I'm a huge fan of jazz.
See, that maybe. I mean, like I'm not a huge fan of it, but like that's I don't know. It's not what's turning me off. Like I have liked it more with every listen. It still just hasn't gotten to that point where it's like one of my absolute favorites.
Yeah,
I just think it's a very solid album.
I think for most people, Good Kid, Mad City is a lot more immediate, which makes sense because it was
right.
That's such a great record as well. Like I have nothing but respect for Kendrick.
No, he's definitely. I definitely think it's like time talking about him like in the all-time greats category. Like he's definitely making his statement.
He's gonna be there. I have no doubt.
Just because I mean, like he's already been acting just as long as Biggie and Tupac or whatever. I mean, like I just don't see why it's not his name can't be thrown into that ring too.
I mean, I always put like Tupac and Biggie in a separate ring. They're their own ring.
Yeah, I don't know.
But Biggie is better.
I'm not even.
I agree too.
I'm honestly not even that much of a fan of either of them. I do like Tupac though, which is terrible. As a huge hip hop fan, it's terrible that I don't like them, and I know that. But
I mean, you shouldn't force yourself to.
Yeah, I know. I'm not forcing myself.
I mean, I'm definitely more to the West Coast as far as like the old school goes, but I do prefer Biggie. His flow's just more like when I heard Bill Burr say it best, like Tupac's flow is just the same on every song. Da 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 da. I don't know, that was a bad impression, but that was a terrible impression. But yeah, Biggie, like his bars just don't even sound like bars really, like PlayStation, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. When I was dead broke, I couldn't picture this. It's like one of the best rhymes of all time.
Yeah.
It is very conversative.
Yeah. We should.
Oh yeah. Okay. So the other thing I wanted to talk about, or that I've been listening to, and actually, with the exception of To Pimp a Butterfly, which is pretty much all I've been listening to since I got it. The other things are kind of what I was listening to last week, but I missed the podcast. So, so I kind of dug into Chance the Rapper's old material, like 10 Day and earlier, and I enjoyed listening to it. Some of his earlier stuff is definitely pretty weak. Ironically enough, I found his album good enough with instrumentality to be the weakest in his discography.
Good enough.
Yeah. But in general, I think it showcases who Chance is as a person and where his influences lie. And for that, I think it was definitely worth a listen. And I'm glad I did check into it. And I'm probably gonna listen to like I'm definitely gonna listen to Back to School Pack again sometime. But yeah. Then I listened to Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. And I'm pretty sure on the last podcast you guys talked about how much Billy Corgan sucked, but this album is awesome. It's just a
I wasn't a
monster.
part of that conversation.
Yeah. It's just a monster of a record. Like, I don't even know what else to say about it. Like, it's so long and dense and incredible and completely impressive. What?
Is that your favorite Smashing Pumpkins?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I haven't really I think I've listened to Siamese Dream once, but I haven't really heard any of their other albums,
I mean, see, I'm the exact opposite. Like, I've listened, there's a few years ago when that's one of my favorite albums, and I've only listened to Melancholy about once. So
yeah, well, Melancholy has been one of my favorite rock records for a few years now. But yeah, it's just getting back to where I was. It's like it's so long and dense and incredible and completely impressive, at least for the fact that it contains several of the best guitar riffs I have ever heard, just like on one album, and that kind of blows my mind. It's so awesome. In general, the songwriting on it is just fucking nuts. Like, Zero is a mind-bending song that fits possibly like 6 minutes of ideas or content into 2 minutes and 40 seconds. And that's incredible. Porcelina, on the other hand, Porcelina of the Oceans is a 9-minute track that feels like it's 3 minutes long. And it's just got that kind of duality to it. And then like 1979 is obviously incredible. But yeah, it's just a great record, and it's a great double album too. It fills in its time really well. Like I don't even feel like there's any filler on this album, and it's 2 hours long. And even if it was a terrible album, I think it'd be worth the listen for Zero alone. But yeah, so that's it for me. Do any of you guys have anything to say about that?
Zero is an incredible song. I
Yeah.
haven't actually listened to either of the albums fully, but
Wait, really?
yeah.
Wow.
I'm not a huge Smashing Pumpkins fan, but I do think I prefer Siamese Dream from the singles I've listened to.
It definitely has more like hits, like Sure Up Rock, Today,
and then
Disarm.
Is a great song in my opinion.
Hummer's a good song. Rocket's good. Soma is one of my favorite power ballads ever. And then let's see, Space Boy. I don't know. Just good songs all across the board.
Yeah, definitely. I one morning I was just like, I get Smashing Pumpkins. There was just this morning where I'm like, I finally understand what they're going for, and it was a weird moment because I kind of like I had never disliked them. I just never really gotten them, and I've never really gotten into them. But like there was this moment I'm like, I get what they're doing.
I think. Nothing else. They have the greatest band name of all time, I think. Just because, like, I can't imagine anything more fun than just going like in a pumpkin patch and just like smashing a bunch of pumpkins, like with a hammer or something.
But Billy Corgan doesn't seem like the kind of guy to have fun.
Yeah.
True. Very.
I think he's notably anti-fun on this record too. But yeah. All right. Up next we have Will.
Yes. All right. So this week, I listened to a lot of stuff this week, but some of the most notable things, I guess, I listened to Kid A and Amnesiac. I kind of put them together because they were recorded at the same time.
I hate when people do that.
Really?
Seriously. You think? They're so different.
They are, but I don't know. I'm still not convinced that Amnesiac is entirely its own record. Like, I think they kind of started out as B-sides.
I literally hate you. Oh my god.
Literally. Well, okay, here's like I'm saying like my creative things. It was When It Rains, It Pours, and like Tom York and company's Rains, it was pouring. So this had so many songs they could make 2 albums.
They could have made 3 albums if you listen to the B-sides.
I haven't listened to the B-sides. I need to.
The B-sides are some of my favorite Radiohead songs ever. Like, and I kind of, I don't know. I just wonder what they could have done with that because they're so incredible. It's just they're kind of like each of a disparate style. So it's like, I don't know if they could have really made a proper album out of them. But I don't know. They have like 3 albums of material in there somewhere, in my opinion. So that's why it bugs me when people kind of lump them together because I don't know. I understand why
I
they
mean,
made
they
the
do
decision.
sound different, but I mean, I do see where they're kind of coming from the same place creatively,
Oh well, yeah. Like
just because they are both such a drastic shift.
this isn't my original thought, but someone I read on r/Radiohead like a year ago or maybe 2 years ago that like they kind of saw the records as different perspectives on the same situation. Like Kid A is kind of cold and distant, whereas Amnesiac is warmer and like
A little, just a
and
little
kind of more claustrophobic. Amnesiac definitely isn't like
a warm
up
album,
close and personal, but it's like
comparably.
compared to Kid A, it's kind of like I don't know. But yeah, and they both kind of deal with like depression and anxiety and stuff.
Right, which was what he was going through on the OK Computer tour. I know.
Yeah, by
Like
the
what he
end of
says,
the
like
tour, he hated their music
yeah,
and
he
hated
says,
touring.
I don't want any more melody. I just want rhythm.
Yeah.
But is yeah. But anyways, me on Amnesiac. I mean, I'm already pretty familiar with Kid A, but I don't listen to Amnesiac a few times. So I kind of listened to that more this week, and it's a good album. I definitely not on Kid A's level by any means, but if you take that out of the equation, very good album. And also, I've been since it came out the past 2 months, I've been listening to Slater Kinney, No Cities to Love a lot. I'm not sure what the sub's opinion or you guys' opinion is,
I like
but
it a
it's
lot.
okay. Yeah, good. Okay,
Jeremiah and I don't like it.
well, it's definitely. I mean, especially this month, it's hard for me to pinpoint my favorite album of the years so far, but that's definitely up there for me. Like, probably just because like my background, like growing up, I'm a big punk fan. I was talking about Blink-182 earlier, you know.
So punk.
It's still
That's
it still is a soft. I mean, it definitely you can hear punk influences in this.
no. I mean, no. I'm saying Blink-182 wasn't punk. This
Oh
is,
yeah,
Sleater Kinney are a riot girl band. They're a
Yeah.
riot girl band.
Yeah. I mean, this album definitely doesn't have that. I mean, definitely that's the only real weakness I can see is that lyrically they don't have as much to say.
Well,
Yeah,
I feel like they have a lot to say.
Jeremiah hates the lyrics. I didn't mind the lyrics. I didn't think they were a weak point in the album. For me, the biggest downfall of that record was I felt like I had heard many of the melodies before, especially in the choruses.
Well, yeah,
Like
it's not their most accessible album yet. I
it
think.
didn't. Well, I don't even mean in that way. I just mean like it felt like it was kind of one of those situations where every song sounded familiar,
Well,
like you had heard it before. That bugged me in a huge way, and I couldn't.
I didn't feel that way.
It's just a very comfortable album to me. Like I can just like when I'm in the car, about 30 minutes, just that's the album I put on. Just I mean, Kerry Brownstein's still much better guitarist than I am. I mean, Janet Weiss is as solid as drummer you can find, and then Court. Like I know you guys talk about your man crushes on here or something. Yeah, she's definitely my crush, indie wise. Like I know she's 42 and has 2 kids and married. So like I'm going to marry Corin Tucker. Like it's happening. So set your dates on the calendar.
Have either of you guys, Sarah, are you still on the podcast?
Yeah, I just didn't have anything relevant to add.
Okay. Have any of you guys listened to Sleater Kinney's older stuff before? No Cities.
I have not.
I listened to their self-titled. I'll listen to Call the Doctor and Dig Me Out.
Okay.
To the Woods.
So you're familiar with their previous.
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to see them next month. So I've been beefing.
I'm jealous. They came.
Yeah, I'm going to go see them in Austin. I'm going to visit some friends. It's going to be good old time.
I've heard they put on an amazing show.
Yeah, I watched like a couple months ago. They did one of their first shows at the DC show.
Yeah, they did.
At the 9:30 club. Yeah, on NPR.
I wanted to be at that, but I just can't pull off the Wednesday night concert thing.
Right, I got you. Anyways, yeah, I watched that on NPR, and it was a very good concert.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, Slater Kinney, No Cities to Love, and then also Vampire Weekend, Modern Vampires of the City. I'm part of the crowd that didn't like their first 2 albums very much. The self-titled and Contra just
boo.
Yeah.
Modern Vampires of the City is definitely my favorite, and in my opinion, the best. But like, I still adore their first 2 records.
I mean, I haven't listened to those too much since I listened to this one, but yeah, this one definitely like complete 180, in my opinion, of the band.
Oh well, totally. It's a drastic change in style.
I mean, it's just definitely one of the best indie pop records I've ever heard ever.
Yeah, they're a completely different group on this record.
I mean, I know that Ezra was like considered quitting before this, so it's kind of a rebirth for him. This album,
yeah.
And then mean, I don't have a whole lot to say. Just good album.
Jeremiah would talk for 20 minutes right now.
Yeah. Well, the good thing is we're already way over. We've already been on an hour and a half, and we haven't even talked about the main album, the main topic.
Yeah, main topic usually lasts like this is definitely going to be a longer podcast though.
Yeah. Maddie's not here to direct us.
So up next we have Sara.
Yeah. Oh, I was gonna talk about. I don't really have anything like new and crazy to talk about. I was listening to a lot of Moon Hooch, but I already kind of talked about them. And yeah, I wrote I don't listen to music.
And I wrote 4 minutes 33 seconds by John Cage. That's
I love that song. Yeah. So that's my contribution.
Can I have can I have a moment to rant?
Sure.
Okay.
Can I talk my shit again?
What?
Oh, Kanye, nothing.
Okay. Sorry.
We gotta talk about him at least once.
So a lot of people make a joke about like John Cage's 4 minutes 33 seconds just for being a silent song, and it is the point of the song was that people would listen to the audience while they were talking. That was the point. It's not supposed to just be a silent song. That's my rant. Okay, I'm done.
It's not a rant. It's a comment.
That's commentary.
I just get very frustrated when people are like, "Oh, why don't you listen to 4 minutes 33 seconds? Because it's silent." Or I'm so funny. I'm a humor genius, and I'm like, this is art. He has made so much more of your life than you will ever do. He is a real artist. Like this is my.
You don't know me.
Yeah.
This is my Kanye moment. I don't care if.
That's not.
This is one of my. This is. I don't care if.
I
you
am
are Beck and one of the greatest songwriters of all time. You are not a true artist. John Cage is a true artist. Okay. Let's talk about our main topic.
All right, so our main topic this week is sometimes I sit and think and sometimes I just sit. And do you guys mind if I start off?
Go ahead.
Just to throw out the slightly more negative opinion,
sure.
So you guys can rip me apart later.
Everyone except Sara.
Yeah, because she didn't listen.
Yeah.
I feel really.
Why
mixed.
you gotta call me out?
I feel really mixed on this record. Like on one hand, I think many of the guitar riffs are great. And in general, I enjoy the melodies and the songwriting on the album. But on the other hand, she just sounds so disaffected in a way that I find really unappealing to listen to.
What do you
I guess
describe that.
Well, just like she just sounds like she's bored. No. Like I just don't really like music that bleeds ennui, I guess. I don't know. She's just
I feel like that's kind of like her style, though. She kind of has this, because what she's talking about is so mundane. She just kind of has this. It kind of reminds me of
well, see,
Jesus Christ, Velvet Underground. I can't remember
Mika.
what. No, no.
Maureen Tucker.
No, the main singer from Velvet Underground. Who I can just not.
Lou Reed.
Lou Reed. Thank God. Sorry.
I never remember before.
Yeah, I know who Lou Reed is. I just forgot his name for you know how it is. I feel like it's kind of that kind of style, just like that kind of talky, laid back style. And I love Velvet Underground and Lou Reed.
Yeah.
It's not even that. It's her voice, I guess. Like
that's what as I've been about it. Why I don't like I Love You, Honey Bear as much as everyone else does. I think that's
really
why.
See,
his voice.
That was part of it for me, because like I don't know, he talks a lot about like I don't know, kind of being all disaffected and not caring and stuff, but then he meets this woman who makes him care, and like that terrifies him, and so I don't know. I think it kind of adds to the experience, but I know what you mean.
But yeah, but I feel like because Courtney Barnett's instrumentation is a bit more interesting, especially on the more rocky song or rock oriented songs like Pedestrian at Best or Elevator Operator.
Well, yeah, that's why I don't hate this record. Like I like a solid handful of the songs. Kim's Caravan, for example, is an incredible song. Like the guitar solo is just fucking
That's one of the tracks
off
I
the
didn't like.
wall. Really?
Yeah, I mean, that's one that one and
Uh,
Small Poppies, the two long ones.
Yeah. I just felt like this is an album that I won't be able to fall in love with or really even care about beyond moderate appreciation, which isn't all that negative a stance, but I don't know, for the podcast it is because we don't usually necessarily have people who hate the album of the week.
Good opinions only.
Except me.
Yeah.
That is my role.
Yeah.
Except this week, it's different.
Oh, also, Depreston sounds exactly like a Parachutes era Coldplay song. I couldn't remember which song it was. I mean, like, sounding like Parachutes era Coldplay isn't necessarily a bad thing to me, but it really bugs me in this case because I feel like the guitar riff is really close.
So you don't like the song?
I did not like Depreston.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not
Really?
not like a song on this album. I think every song is incredible. Or not incredible. Every song is very good.
All right, and that's pretty much all I had to say about the record. So you guys can you can go ahead.
You want to go next?
Sure. I love this record. I didn't really like Courtney Barnett. I didn't because I had heard Avant Gardner and I thought it was kind of boring. But then I listened to Pedestrian at Best. I'm like, holy shit, she can really rip.
Okay,
Right.
that's a great song, but I felt like it was a minute longer than it should have been. I don't know. Like,
Yeah, I feel
Well,
like
while we're on top of that song, I want to talk about.
I'm sorry that I hurt you.
I love that song just because, like, okay, the first minute, it just. Let me pull up the lyrics here, but it's like she's just like doing a compare contrast kind of thing. You know, just nothing too revolutionary, right? But then in the second verse, she just like completely changes it up.
and then that one line, I'm having an existential time crisis.
Yes,
That's a great lyric. That's
yeah, it's very simple first verse that like literally anyone could have written. But the second one, like, my internal analog is saturated analog. I've scratched and drifting. I've become attached to the idea. Just like very, very good lyrics.
Yeah, the lyrics on this album. I'm not a lyric person really.
Me either.
But I think she does a great job. When I notice the lyrics, they are always very well done and very insightful in my opinion. And I've read many reviews talking about how she talks about the mundane and makes it interesting. And I think that's true. I didn't listen to the lyrics that closely, so I can't like talk about that much. But what I thought was just what I liked about that album is just how solid the music was. And it was a bit over compressed. I think the production just sounds a bit too like snappy, but the record just sounds so good. Like when I think what's so cool is that she can do these super poppy tracks. You can do the super like, I would almost say punk tracks, like Pedestrian at Best. And then
All right, yeah.
Like
Pedestrian at Best was definitely at least punk influenced.
Yeah,
Very.
I definitely think that she's revealing herself to be more of a rocker, and I think she's gonna go more in that direction. I don't know. Maybe I think she's gonna go in one direction or the other. I don't think she's gonna stick with this kind of dual thing. I would love if she did, but I feel like she won't. But that's stupid to guess. I love this record. I'm definitely gonna keep listening to it. Will, do you have anything?
Yeah. I mean, the first thing I noticed, definitely sounds straight out of the mid '90s grunge era.
No, can I say sorry?
It became poppier though.
Yeah, I feel like she kind of like goes through a bunch of different eras of music. Like some of the songs sound like they're like classic rock from the '60s. Some of the songs sound like poppy stuff, maybe from '70s or '80s, and then like grungy stuff from the '90s, and then indie from it. She kind of just doesn't. It kind of feels timeless, but at the same time, it's very rooted in different times.
Very, very. Anyway, so yeah, definitely that's just very comfortable. Like, it was definitely a very easy first listen for me, which I'm just a kind of person that like I hate almost everything I listen to the first listen. Like, takes me a lot of times to really like it, but this one just immediately clicked with me. And like Ethan, I'm not much of a lyrics person, but I really enjoyed a lot of stuff she was saying on here. It's because like Elevator Operator, the very first song. Did anyone else catch the story of that one?
Not really. It seems like a bunch of different things.
Yeah, I mean, like the thing is,
I actually didn't like that song.
I didn't like it at first just because like I feel like her Australian accent does like come the heaviest on that track. So it's
That
like hard to
doesn't
follow the
bug me
story.
at all. It
I mean, that bugged me a little bit, but is that racist? I don't know. Anyways, but no, it was basically just about some guy who, like, on one hand, like, gives up the tie and suit, the white collar lifestyle, and then he goes up on the rooftop just to think, and then some other lady goes up there, and then she wants to, like, kill herself, and so she assumes that he is, and then he says, like, don't be like that. I don't know, just like very simple stories. That was a terrible description of the song, but anyways, just very mundane, but very, very quaint, enjoyable. And then, like, to Preston,
I think quaint is definitely a very good way to describe this album,
Yeah.
whether that be positive or negative for you.
Yeah.
right. Then, like, to Preston's another one just like that, where she is very simple at first, just talking about looking for a house, but then at the very end, let me pull up the lyrics again.
I seriously did not like that song. Like,
Really?
yeah.
See, I like that one. It basically talks about how they're looking through some house and they see some guy some guy in, like, an army suit, and then they're like, wonder what she's going, like, the lady who owns the house is going through. Then she just goes back to her own thoughts, kind of just, talking about how, like, we're all just so selfish, kind of. But we have moments of caring, I guess. I don't know. Then, like, another highlight for me was the 2-song stretch of Nobody Really Cares If You Don't Go to the Party and Debbie Downer. Like I said, those two felt like they had a real punk influence and grunge influence that I like a lot. They just flowed together very well. And I enjoyed that moment. And then, like I already said, the 2 longer tracks, Small Poppies and Kim's Caravan, those ones weren't really as interesting to me. They're just a little overdrawn lyrically. Not a whole lot interesting stuff there. Though it was a good moment for the band. Shout out to them. They had some good instrumentals there. Then ends with Boxing Day Blues. What do you guys think of that song?
It's kind of a bit more. I'm having trouble remembering it. It's a bit more laid back, right?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
kind of folky almost. I didn't.
Yeah.
It was alright. I didn't love it or hate it.
Yeah, that one did kind of end the album with a whimper for me.
Yeah,
Really, the last 2 tracks.
I feel
weren't
like I
that-
prefer that, though, to, like, her going with another, like, really heavy song.
I mean, I am a big
Yeah,
fan
me
of
too.
the
I
slow
think
track.
I actually think Kim's Caravan could have been a great closer.
I think so too. And, like, she doesn't have lyrically as much to say with Boxing Day Blues, so it was definitely kind of a weaker part of the album for me. Those last 2 tracks, but the rest of it I thought was just very solid. Just fits very well in my taste. Definitely one of my favorite releases of the year so far. Anything to add, Sarah?
No.
No.
Oh, sorry.
Sarah.
Sorry, I
Yes,
misheard you.
I'm talking to Sarah.
Sorry, I misheard you. I thought you just said, does anyone else have something to add? But Sarah, you talk.
To Courtney Barnett?
No.
Yeah.
What's your opinion? Never hearing it, just hearing our opinions.
I listened to, like, a song or 2 of hers, and I was
Sarah,
like, okay,
what's your
it's
head
good,
rating
I
of
don't
this
really-
album?
Yeah.
My head rating is like a 7.9.
What do you think about the cover? What do you rate that?
I don't remember what it looks like.
It's cute.
It's just a chair.
It's a chair. Oh, right, it's a little drawing. I don't like it.
Okay.
I think it's a
I think
quaint
it's lame. I think it's lame.
I mean, it's a very, just like the title. Sometimes I sit and think. Sometimes I just sit. Very appropriate title for the subject matter here. Just the quaint storytelling, stream of consciousness. That's another thing I want to add.
You guys, I've literally just been looking at pictures of Darby Cece from the Antlers. That's all I've been doing.
Literally?
I'm not exaggerating.
Literally.
He's my ultimate indie crush.
Um,
That's all I had to contribute.
Tribute-
Oh, and the song of the week. I decided on the song of the week.
What's the song of the week? Oh, you put it on the schedule.
So, Come to My Window by Melissa Etheridge. Anybody want to debate that one? It's a great
Yes.
classic. A Grammy, I think.
I think that we should make Kim's Caravan or Pedestrian at Best the song.
We already did Pedestrian at Best, so we can't do that.
Looks like Melissa Etheridge it is.
Or Kim's Caravan.
We have to do the head reviews though.
Oh, okay.
What is head review?
God.
We do a head related review, so like a head banging.
It's really complicated, and I think either none of us understand it or each of us have a different like idea of what it's supposed to be.
All right.
As for me, my head rating is like, actually, I don't know. Someone else go first.
Okay, mine is it's like really get like headbanging like at a concert, like not too aggressive, but like really getting into it. And then it's just like me, and then that's half of the review, and the other half is me like with my chin in my hands, like nodding very intelligently while someone is like talking to me about like some really interesting subject. So combine those two heads into one, and you got my review.
My head rating is just Obama making the not bad face.
Okay. Will?
All right. My head rating is very very good bobbing your head to album. Very good sunny day driving album. That's most of my listening to it has been it. Maybe that's why I like it so much. It's just because it's very good for driving on a sunny day, and that's mostly how I've been listening to it. So that's my rating.
Okay. So we should decide on the song of the week. I'm pulling for Aqua Profunda.
Dude, that was another good one. That's probably the most point song on the album. Most random, I guess. Lyrically, it's just about going to the gym.
I honestly don't care. So
yeah, it's just about like swimming.
I think it's short and energetic and a good song. And it's
cool.
It's a nice short way to end a long podcast.
Okay. So
actually, an hour and a half is really our average, and we're only 17 minutes above that.
We're gonna cut out part of that because they don't want to listen to us ramble at the beginning.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, that's my favorite part.
All right, so that was this week's r/Indieheads podcast.
That was this week's r/Indieheads podcast.
Wait, what did I say?
No, you said we're co-hosting.
Oh, right, yeah. Wait, shouldn't we just be speaking?
And that was this week's R/Indieheads podcast.
Sarah is not. You are not
host,
the co-host.
Sarah.
No.
Nice work, Sarah.
Only half of us
media.
can be the host.
I am Reddit.
You are Reddit.
I thought having two hosts would be totally irrelevant because like it seemed like we were gonna have a lot of people on this week, but then there was just 4.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. So that's it. Bye.
Bye.
Deuces.
Bye, friends.